very first day that I'm supposed to start my new series, Draining the Zone. And not only do we invade Venezuela and imprison Nicolas Maduro, but for the first time that I can literally remember in two separate administrations, basically nothing else happened. Now, that is to ignore the fact that today was the deadline for more details on the Epstein files. Sure, that had nothing to do with any kind of a distraction, but nothing moved there. So, literally, the first day I'm supposed to go over all the background stuff that nobody paid attention to, there's only one thing to pay attention to. And as far as what's going on in Venezuela, you have been hearing from President Trump all different kinds of reasons why we are doing anything at all with Venezuela. It's because of the drug running. It's because Maduro is the head of a cartel that actually, traffics in drugs. They have gangs. The country itself is a non-functioning state. They're sending so many immigrants here and did send immigrants here during the Biden administration specifically because they wanted to fill up the prisons with Venezuelan prisoners that Maduro sent over here on purpose. I guess in some kind of a cabal with, who knows, Hillary Clinton and Obama. I don't know. This is one I only heard today from a conspiracy theorist. So, in any event, you're going to hear all kinds of reasons. And several times in the mainstream media today, I did hear them finally say it after several hours of silence. This is about oil, guys. It's plain and simple about oil, and it's not about oil the way Iraq was about oil. This is about oil, and honestly, I'm no fan of Nicolas Maduro, and I think he was an illegitimate leader in the first place. And Trump is kind of right. I mean, we put the infrastructure in for them to tap their gigantic oil reserves. This would have been back in like the 50s. I don't know. I'll put dates down at the bottom of the screen. But we did essentially build the infrastructure for them to tap their oil in the first place. And then they decided to essentially make all their oil companies state-run enterprises. And so they essentially just stole all of that infrastructure and, to a certain extent, oil that we were expecting at the very least to purchase, if not to outright take. But so, there are arguments for doing what was done, but why today? And why is it giving so many other reasons that conflict with all, as has been mentioned in the mainstream media today several times, he pardoned the former president of Honduras, who's definitely a drug runner responsible for thousands of tons or hundreds of tons of cocaine getting into our country. And Maduro really is not. But even if he was, why do you pardon the one guy but you depose the other? And, the fact that he called out that he was going to let CIA operations happen months ago, it's like he completely showed his hand. But the one thing that I would also say is I called this about a month and a half or 2 months ago on my Facebook when I said to everybody, look, this is clearly, and I had heard it somewhere in some right-wing circle, this is the Don Roe Doctrine, not the Monroe Doctrine, the Don Roe Doctrine. And today, apparently, he decided to officially name it that. So, yeah, there was some people knew that this was part of some kind of scheme to overthrow the Venezuelan leader and essentially start beating China and Russia to the punch with more influence in an area that we haven't had a lot of influence in for a very long time. So at least not meaningful influence in the way that we want it. So it's this story is going to continue to grow. It's the very first day, but this is about allowing our oil companies to go in and take control of the infrastructure and take control of the oil. And, I'm sure that Venezuela will wind up with some piece of that pie. But this is, if you're familiar with banana republics, I mean, to me, this is just a clear signal that we are switching from banana republics to oil republics in the same way in Central America and South America. So, everybody keep an eye out for it to happen again. Anyhow, yeah, that's all I have to say for tonight. I'm actually kind of pissed off that the first night I'm supposed to do this, there's no other stories, and this particular story deserves a really deeper dive than I'm willing to give right at this moment. But anyway, that's what happened today. Let's hope tomorrow's episode is better, and let's hope we have more information to talk about this um, tomorrow and in the days that follow. So, if you have service members who are over there doing anything at all for us, then I wish them the best, and I wish you the best, and we pray for their safe return home and that they're successful on whatever missions they carry out, which are legal. Um, and yeah, I guess that's it for tonight. So, everybody, we broke it. Now we own it. So we'll see what we decide to do with Venezuela.